Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to have you here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the Film and Music Show. My dear friend, Dr. Madalene Chan, will not be with us today. She has the day off, but we have a super extra special guest who is coming back to share about his work and some work that we're doing together. His name is Rene Tshiakanyi, and he is joining us from Africa. Let's welcome him to the show. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn. How are you?
I'm doing so well now that I see you and you're here. And how are you doing?
I'm really doing good. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, you are a singer, songwriter. You are someone who just gives and gives and gives with your heart, with your voice. And I'm just so blessed to have met you through Janetta Barry. So thank you for coming here again. And thank you for behind the scenes doing some work with me. We're going to be talking about that as well.
I'm very privileged. I'm feeling very privileged to be here today. And I would say since I've been coming on your shows, I do learn a lot. So I'm really feeling very privileged. Thank you for having me again.
It's definitely a pleasure. And, I'm so glad that you shared that, and I'm grateful. That's what we're all about, is providing education, hope, and inspiration. Of course, some entertainment here and there we love, but I feel myself at the end of the week, I can't believe how many things I've learned. It's amazing. And we also get exposure to other countries and other cultures and what's going on other than what we see on mainstream news.
You are totally right. And everybody's a story. You were doing a book show not long ago. I've always believed that every human being is a book that is being written, every single day. And every time we exchange, it's really a global conversation. That's beautiful.
It certainly is. And I think the other thing that is so meaningful to me is that one person brings someone else to the platform who brings someone else to the platform, and there's no competition. It's all about collaborating and heart-centric work. It's truly beautiful. So thank you for being part of our community.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
So the other day, what day was it? 2 days ago, I think, was Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And I saw on Facebook that you had a gig you were doing. Tell us about that.
Wow, that was a Valentine's Day gig. I was doing that in a place called Baleto. It's almost an hour drive from where I live in Durban, at a hotel. What I can say, celebrating love, it's something very special. But to me, because, if the listeners would want to know about my private life, because we're celebrating love and people would want to know, do you have somebody special in your life? And did that person came with you to the gig, and how was it like? So, but I don't have that special someone yet, but I ended up meeting many people that turns out to be my special other. And if you look on my latest post, there is a girl, she's 6, her name is Mia. All she wanted was my signature. She wanted my autograph. She came on stage. She stopped me from performing and she said, "Can I please get an autograph?" I think for me, that was the best compliment and the best Valentine's gift we could share, as much as she appreciates what I do. And I was amazed that somebody just want to take my signature home. So that was really good.
That is really good. And you know what I also like that you said is I haven't met someone, I don't have someone yet.
Yes,
Yet, meaning that you're open. And I feel that being open is so important to attract things into our lives, isn't it?
it is. It is. And I think you have done a lot of shows. You took some shows about mindfulness, some shows about romance. I've been your fan since I've get to know your work.
Thank
Uh,
you.
that's why I have really to be honest with you. I've never been in a place where confused won't be the words, but it's just like a bit harder to make a choice.
Mhm.
And I'm surrounded by these beautiful people, and everybody's particular in his own, I mean, her own way. But then I'm in a stage in my life where I did decide to stay single for another 3 years. But just when I made that decision, they start popping up.
It's always that way. It's crazy.
So it's actually one of them. I do call her Isabella. She actually called me and she said, I know we're friends, and I know you know that I'm single. Can I please be your Valentine? And I said, that would mean a lot to me. So she came, she bought me a gift, and she wrote me a letter to express her feelings.
Oh.
So I was very touched. And she came with her friends. She had a seat on the front row, so she could see me. Uh, that's what I took from the Valentine's gig were the people who came from miles and miles away to come see me play, but also those who were willing to display their feelings toward me. It could be Mia, who was 6 years old and just wanted my autograph, or it was Isabella who bought me a beautiful bottle of wine and wrote me a card and just to express herself. So that was my Valentine's Day. Yeah.
I would think that that has to happen to you quite often because you're a good-looking man, you've got a beautiful voice, and you're up on the stage and people see you, and then they sort of that crazy fan,
Mm,
where they
yeah.
they just wanna get to know you and wanna follow you
Mm.
around. Does that happen quite often?
It does happen quite often, and I think I have been quite naive because I wasn't able to notice it. And women have their own language, which is very different than men. And I'm very much like a goal-oriented kind of person. I said I go to perform. In my mind, it's do the best performance, make people happy, make the client happy to ensure future work without realizing that people who come to see me play, they ended up admiring certain qualities. For example, Isabella, in her letter, she said, you always inspires me when I see your journey coming to South Africa, starting with nothing, and to see how. And she said, every time I come to your gig, there is like one step that you take. And she said, it doesn't mean you're not good, but there is that special thing you feel like, wow, he went another step further this time again. How did he do it? On one side, I felt very privileged because I'm very anxious, like all the performers, and every day you have a different voice. Depends on what the word is like and maybe what you've eaten. You can still sing, but as a performer, you know your voice, and you always wonder, am I going to be relevant? But she has been coming for the past 3 years to my gigs, and this time she came with her friends and she told me that, and I wrote it on my diary because I have this ritual of writing all the good compliments I receive, because there are times when I'm feeling low and I just need to go through that diary and start reading the people I've met, what they've said about me and my work, and see how can I reshape my perspective on the days that I don't feel on top of my game. So I was able to take her letter and just put it in my diary and send her a message to thank her. So it does happen that people do come, but I don't take it for granted either, because I've always believed that love is a gift, love is a miracle, and I can't make somebody love me. When people display their affection and feelings toward me, to me, it's a gift, and I look at it as a miracle. So I really, really cherish that. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thanks for
Mm.
sharing that with us.
Thank you.
So, just you don't have to answer this, but just wondering, when someone says, "May I be your Valentine?" is that just for that day, or does it extend past that?
uh, wow. I was, you know what? Human being, we are very intuitional. We know when something's about to start, and we can either want to say, okay, let me just put on hold for now. Maybe I don't want to go that fast. I want to go slowly because I want to see. Because the way we talked and the way she was expressing herself, as she reminded me, she said, "Do you know that I'm single?" And I said, "Yes, I know that you're single." She said, "Would you be my Valentine's?" Then the next day when she texted me, she said, "Please don't think I'm trying to be just romantic. I know we're friends, but today it's Valentine's, and I wanted you to be my Valentine's." I don't want to overanalyze what she said, but I do know that if I show interest, I can see a new beginning. So now my fear is, with my studies and my timetable and the objective I set for myself, I like to invest myself in a relationship. I like to give 100%, not like you there and you not there. So that's why, like, I think the ball is like on my corner. I was just like, are you sure, Renee, that you can give her all of you, or you're not ready? Look your heart, search your heart. Don't play with her feelings, because it's a vulnerable place to be when you show to somebody that I am here, I am willing. Um, Somebody once said, when we fall in love, we are at the same time stronger and at the same time weaker. So it's something that I do cherish, but I'm very delicate with her feelings, and I will find a way as things goes. If I'm not ready, I'll find more gentleman way of showing her that, or maybe talking about that. But she's a nice person, very resourceful, an entrepreneur, and she's amazing. So yeah.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. And thank you for being so concerned and so honorable, because that is
Merci.
true, especially for someone reaching out to you and basically
Mm,
showing you, her hand and
mm,
saying, "Hey, this is how I feel about you," and I can relate
mm,
totally, because you're working, your heart is
mm,
invested in some things already, that you'd have to take your heart out of that and put it
mm,
into this.
mm. Totally. And when maybe it's like I said, searching my own heart. As a performer, when you work as an independent artist, every money that you make, you pay for the music lessons. Every money that you make, you buy that new guitar, you buy that tenor saxophone, you buy that piano. It's like it's an enterprise that you could tell where it started, you could see where you are, and you could see the possibility for the future. And now it's almost like this is just how I feel, and maybe you can advise me on this. I feel like somebody who's dating someone like me is almost like you dating a single mother or a single father. My music and my career, it's like a child to me. So you realize that now and then I'm very protective of that child that you came and found already in my life, because we have a story. So everything that I want to do, I try to think, how would this affect my child, my brainchild, my intellectual child, my artistic child? And how would this person accommodate this child? Because this person doesn't even know this child. And I've been living with this child for 15 years. Now this child's a teenager. It's about to make things happen. Would I ever let somebody who just came a few months ago to make me become less careful about this child? How can I talk to this person about the child that I have? But now here's the tricky part. A physical child you could see, and they can talk to you, and they could say what they want. my musical child, you can't see, you can feel it, you can, guess it. But I know that child because I gave birth to that child, and I know what that child needs because I've been with that child for years. And I don't know how to explain to you because you're not maybe musical. And I don't know if you ever understand it's my look, like I am making excuses. So part of the reason why I said I want to search my heart to take a step, just reflect, is that okay, if I make a decision to say, now I want to fall in love, now I want to start life with this beautiful lady, how can I let her see that child? How can she let that child become part of her life? And so both of us, we can care about that child. That's sometimes how I feel. That's why I said maybe you can advise me because you're more wiser than than I am.
Absolutely not the case. But I love how you made that analogy. It's your baby.
Mm,
This is something that you
mm,
have birthed and you've cared for
mm,
and nurtured, and you can watch getting older, growing and
mm,
growing and growing.
mm,
So it has to be someone who is really on the same page and understands
mm.
the amount, even the time commitment and the work
Totally.
hours that you have.
Mm,
But I think
totally.
anything is possible as long as
Mm,
both people are upfront about what they're looking for and what's,
totally.
yeah, and what their passions are.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, speaking of passions, I want to get into this project that you and I
Yes.
are working on with Dr. Chan. And
Yes.
because I want people to understand that wherever you are in the world, it's possible to
Mm,
create something beautiful with people in other countries. You can work together. So, we are working together on releasing a new single called What Was I
mm,
Thinking Back Then? And
yes.
you have you have already done your part, which is amazing. So we have
Thank you.
a we have a song that was uh, the music was created by Nora Chan, Dr. Chan's
Mm,
niece,
mm,
and then Dr. Chan and I wrote the words, and
mm.
you actually went to a recording studio and recorded your part of it. Tell us about that.
Yes. Before I go on, I want to give you guys an applause because I went with the song in the studio. I've been given a lot of materials. People would like for us to work together. But when I would take it to my producers, and they was like, Rene, with your name and what you've done so far, we won't advise you to go to this project because it doesn't reflect good on
Mm.
you. And I will ask why. They say, no, the quality is not good. This is not your standard. When I took your project to Colin, we went to Sonic Studios. He was amazed. Like I'm sure if you check on the WhatsApp, I mean on Facebook, I sent you a video clip us in the studio. He was like dancing, like he was grooving, and he said, "Wow." After me recording it, he didn't believe that it stops there. He thought there is more that he could do. So I said, no, 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 it's already done. I just want to put my vocals. Then I'll send these files back to the US and to the UK for Dr. Jacalyn to record her part. And then he said to me, if they need anything more that I could do, please tell them that I'm here and I would like to work with them. And that
Wow.
was because he felt the project that is so great quality work. The lyrics was good, the sound, the music, and they just want you to give more of yourself. So I feel blessed to be part of such a great project. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank
Um,
you. Where can I see this
Merci.
video? I didn't see it. It's on Facebook?
Yeah, it was on Messenger.
On
I did
Messenger.
send you when I started the studio, I took few video clip. I don't know, because I did film Colin. He was like dancing. Um, and coming to how it worked, it was the easiest part ever because when I record my work, I am the musician, I am the composer, I am the singer, I am the songwriter. So I do a lot at the same time, and it takes a lot. So when I work on my own project, I will maybe lay down piano first, as I do play often with acoustic instruments. So, or I'll play the guitar. Then when it's on, then I'll lay my vocals. Do I want it to be just vocal and an instrument? If okay, then I will leave it that way. If not okay, then Colin and I, we work on creating some beats. But it's usually me telling him what kind of sound I'm looking for. Do I want like kind of like 80s sound or funky kind of like Motown? Because with software now, you can literally reproduce those kind of sonic. Um, and when I had what was I thinking back then? That was the easiest part for me because all I had to do was to sing. 90% of the work was already done for me, including the words were written for me. So all I had to do was to sing. So I booked the studio for 4 hours and I done the work in less than an hour. And Colin said, but Rene, how would you book for this many hours and you only sing a couple of lines? I said, well, I didn't know because Colin is very disciplined and is very meticulous. If it's not right, you have to start over. So I was like, just in case. He said, sing over. We need at least enough time. So I had a lot of fun, and I'm actually now looking forward to hear the complete project. So now I want to ask you, when is the song coming out?
I know it's stuck with me. Part of the reason it's stuck
Okay,
with me is that I have to practice. I haven't been practicing singing the song for
okay,
probably 5 months or so, maybe 4 months.
okay,
So I
okay.
have to get with Dr. Chan, and
Mm,
she's my vocal coach, and then run
mm.
through it a number of times. But you know what my goal is, to have it out there by March 26th.
I know your birthday.
Yes, exactly.
That would be
So
great.
I know. So
uh,
I think it's still
okay.
doable. But Renee, one thing I'd love for you to share with people, for people who
Yes.
have no idea what's involved with
Mm,
recording a single, releasing a single, what is
mm.
that whole process?
It's very complex because since the quarantine and COVID-19 pandemic, the way we release music have completely changed. I was actually researching Spotify. Actually, the data says every single day on Spotify, people release 60,000 new songs every single day. That just shows how much songs are out there looking for the same people that we are. Um, to release a single, I would like to go through steps. The first step is you need to have your own materials. If you want to do a cover song, then you need to get a copyright from the publisher. If you want to do, I don't know, Elvis cover, or I don't know, Michael Jackson or Stevie Wonder, so you would need actually to be legal in your dealings. Otherwise, you have a problem with the law. But in case you write your own work, in case you write your own songs, just make sure that your materials are ready. Sometimes people can have a draft and they think it's a song. It just need to be brushed again. And the best way to go is, if you have friends who love your work, just send them a demo, get some feedback. And my best way to get feedback is to sing for kindergarten kids. They don't have a reason to lie to you. If it's good, they will show you it's good. If it's not good, you'll see. These kids, like these toddlers, they will show you that this is good, we love it, or it's not good, we don't love it. And they can't shy away to show you that. And that's how I test my songs sometimes. But because I do perform a lot, within my set, I will sneak the song and I'll watch the crowd, and then I could tell which one is potentially ready to be released. So that's it's on the first phase of preparation. And when it's ready, then I will arrange studio time. And it depends, do I want it to be acoustic, voice, guitar, voice, piano, or do I want with other instruments? Then I will decide if I would like to hire a session musician to accompany me, or I can leave it to the producer in the studio who can create beats or sound through the software that the studio might have. And once that is done, the deal breaker now is how to release a song. And I know people that just say, well, I'm releasing my song. But how would people know that you have a song out? Because we have a 60,000 on Spotify only. But then we have a Apple Music, we have a Deezer, we have many streaming platforms, we have a YouTube Music. How would people know that your music is out there? And where can they find your music? Um, I'll be honest with you. I released 3 singles during the pandemic and I didn't have all this information. You might laugh, but my reason for releasing this music during the pandemic was I was a bit paranoid. I would see people dying of COVID. So it's like, what if I die? How would people know that I existed and I was a musician? Because I don't have anything yet. And the beauty about releasing music on the digital platform, unlike the CDs, because we'll talk about the advantage of CDs and digital. Uh, for the digital, it stays online forever. You know, generations will come later, might discover new artists. I know people today that play music during there was this guitarist called I forgot his name. He was playing the blues in America, and I didn't know who he was. There were rumors that he sold his soul to the devil, but I don't know. But that story made me want to discover his music. But he lived almost, it could be almost a century ago. But because his music is online, I could go and discover a new artist. So that was in my mind, and I said to myself, I said to myself, how can people remember me? How can I leave a trail to my family, to my friends? You know, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to release my song. So I didn't really check all these steps of a successful single release. And I could see that the success was quite limited. And I can now explain why it was limited. I just realized that when I was releasing music, I would like said, okay, I want to release it tomorrow, and I'll set a date. That's it's called fast release. But then when you do fast release, you don't leave the time to the playlist guy to have your song and put it in their playlist so that you can have broader audience to listen to your song. So I was missing on that one. And when I was doing a fast release, I wasn't paying for marketing for the song. So there is different budget for marketing through your distributor. I know a lot of people use CD Baby, United Masters. There's so many. I use Ditto from the UK, and I read about them, I researched them. I felt like they have more business, like a human business model. Unlike, I don't say others are not human in their approach, but for me, the services that Dito was giving and the added value in terms of information, letting you know about a new music festival that's maybe open for you, showing you like tips on the new trends. So you stay on their mailing list, and every month, every 3 months, they will keep you on the loop of the changes in terms of trends, who is selling well and why might be the reason. And they might have an interview with a popular artist who could give tips. So all of that, I realized, well, I would want to work with a distributor who have extra services that I might need. So from now on, when I look back and I say to myself, for the next song I'm going to release before the end of the year, I would like to make sure that it's all well planned. I have a good budget for the marketing, but I can even start the marketing ahead of time by letting my people know through social media, through email, because I have a database for my MailChimp. Just keep my people know and maybe do some short clip of the song to come and show them that something's in the way. I'm looking forward to share this with you. And so that's so far what I have done. But this is such a wide and like as a field, the digital world in terms of music, it's very diverse. I would encourage people to research as well. I might not have all the options, but with Google search and all the publishers out there, you can always get good information, so you know what to do before to release your single.
Thanks so much, Renee. I appreciate all that
Mhm.
valuable information. A question I have for you, just totally naive, I don't know.
Okay.
Do they still have CDs? I heard that what are they called? The big albums,
Vinyl.
vinyl, that
Yes.
vinyls made a big
Yes.
comeback. So is a person like for me, I'm on CD Baby for the first song, Listening Lazies.
Yes. Mm.
Is that an option as well for anyone, or do you have to have an agent, or I don't know how it works to go
I
on vinyl?
think the best way to go would be actually to research that. I saw a French artist that I love very much. His name is Pascal Obispo. They had songs like part of the play of Victor Hugo, because I don't know how to say it in English. Um, so he just tweeted last week to say, "Hello, my friend. I'd love to let you know that the vinyl, the Dix Commandements, that's the name of the song, is now available in vinyl. You can get it, and then he sent a link that people can go to, and then they will find where to get the vinyl. You know what? I'm having a feeling that as much as the digital got its own advantage, in terms of quality sound and quality and also like the personal experience, holding a CD in your hand, holding vinyl in your hand, something you could carry, that your favorite artist can sign and say, I love you, thank you for supporting me. I have a feeling that it's going to come back even big time, because I'm having people, maybe US may be different, in Africa not everybody can access internet, not everybody can access online banking, because you have to have a bank card to buy music online. So now everywhere I go, they do ask me, do you have CDs? And I was like, wow, there are people still looking for CDs. So I need to make sure, as much as I can have an online music available, I need to make sure I also got the physical CDs and vinyl available for whoever would love to support. So I think that is something we need to think about.
I really agree with you. I
Mm.
love the idea of holding something and saying,
Yes.
"Yeah, this is my work. This is my I'm
Yes.
giving it to you." Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But I don't know how that works at all, so we'll have to look into that.
I will look into that. Maybe we'll have another show, because I need to have more facts and more precise information for our viewers. And I'm sure it's going to be beneficial. All I do know is Taylor Swift, if not 2 years ago, it could be 3 years ago, she made that bold move. She took all her music off the streaming platform. And there were music commentators who said that was a very strategic move, because people wanted to see her, people wanted to hear Taylor Swift. So when they would go to concerts, there were CDs available. So
Hmm.
she have her own containers of CDs and vinyl at her stadium. When you come to see her, you buy a CD, you buy a T-shirt. She wanted to create that experience so that
Mhm.
you could say, "I remember I got this from Taylor Swift concert." And I think there is so many ways that we could do with the possibilities that we have. Yeah.
And I'm also thinking that that's another expense.
Mm.
So that investment in making the CD or the vinyl, that money has to come from somewhere.
From somewhere, totally, totally. I remember when I started, that's what I would do. I would have some money. uh it makes me laugh, well, because it's not such a big number, but my first ever CD I made when I came to South Africa, it happened, I was just playing in a club, and I was playing Father and Son by Cat Stevens. So there was a gentleman in a venue said, if you ever make a CD, I'll buy. I just took it as a guidance. I started putting my songs together, and I remember recording that album in 3 hours, which means I was playing and singing at the same time, and I did it in about an hour and a half, and I left the other hour and a half for the engineer and producer to mix and master the work and give it to me, give me my masters. Then the next day I went to the CD company to print CDs. I sold that CD for like three, was a quarter of a thousand, like 250 to 300 CDs. That was in my town where I live. But now when I meet people, they're like, "You must be Rene. I have your CD." It just makes me feel like, wow. First of all, I could say I'm coming from somewhere, but then I do respect them for the investment they made from my very beginnings, that they believed in me, and that I didn't have a bigger budget to do all of that. But I went with what I had, and because people would see me playing live in the restaurant, in the hotel, I just said to myself, they didn't see a drummer, they didn't see a bass player, they saw me and my piano, or they saw me and my guitar. That is the sound I want to give to them, so they can remember that experience of me performing for them. So it wasn't really with a lot of spice on it. It was just like a live recording, somebody playing and singing. And the money I generated, because I would sell that for close to 10 US dollar a CD. And when I look at, when you look at 250 CDs, that's almost like 2,500 US dollar, but I invested less than 1,000 US dollar. So that was a good business activity that I did. And, but I had to take a step back because I was growing musically, technology was improving, and I said to myself, to show to my audience that I'm not taking a chance. You supported me, you believed in me. I have the means to grow, to study, to record in much better condition. Next time when I'm bringing you my next CD, I'd like for you, when you play the next CD and you play the first CD, you could say, wow, I can see the change. The guy has put in work. And that would be the best thank you I could say to my audience. And that's why I'm working at the moment on my next CD.
I love what you're sharing today, and of course, we're almost out of time. It's gone by so fast. One question I don't. We'll start it today and maybe finish it another time. But as a
Yes,
live performer, okay,
yes.
you you're living your life and you show up and you have to perform, and maybe every day you're not feeling exactly the same way.
Mm.
Do you feel that your music on a live is your voice is always the same?
Well, now I'm going to tell you my experience over this weekend. Um, I'm trying to be disciplined because I don't socialize that much because of my schedule of studies, rehearsal, performance. So when I go to perform, that's my only chance to socialize. And the adrenaline is so high, and you forget that you need to go home and rest. So I'll have one more two drinks, and then the next day you have like hangover, and then like, oh, it might take you a day to recover completely, but then it's like, okay, I need to discipline myself. Talking about the voice, over the weekend I was very vocally challenged because it was a long weekend, but there were people who saw me a year ago, and they came and they literally told me, they said, we could see the improvement. I don't know what they said. Well, these are the details they gave me. They said, when COVID ended and we were allowed to perform and we came to see you play, when you were singing in English, now and then you hear a French accent. Now and then you could tell. And they said, now it's quite harder. Like if you close your eyes, you might think this is born and bred British singer. On one side, they said you put in a lot of work. I didn't know if I could take it as a compliment because my French accent make me look sexy, but I didn't know if I had to. So, but so when you're talking about, does the voice sound the same? It doesn't sound the same, but I had to learn to sing with every voice I have. Sometimes my voice is so exhausted. So I know there are songs, if you wake me up, I don't have to warm up. I can sing it. So I'll look at my playlist. I'll go with less challenging vocal songs for the first set, In the meantime, our voice warms up, and then I can go to the high pitched songs where it's vocally demanding. Uh, and I learned to be comfortable in that space that not every day is the same. And you're lucky to be a performer, you're lucky to have people who love you. Give them what you have. Your intention, your presence, where you are in your heart is more important than just to be technically great as a singer. How do you offer that gift of music to them? Do you offer that gift with love and gratitude, or you come from show off viewpoint? Those are now where I do stand. If I feel like it's show off, kind of like ego perspective, I'll take a step back and I'll say a prayer and I'll say, God, I might not be here tomorrow, and maybe I might not meet this crowd again. We been given this time as a gift. Let us live this moment. They're here for me, and I have to be here for them. I just want to give them what I have with love and gratitude. And that becomes my benchmark. During the week, I'll practice to make sure my voice and my craft is okay. By the time I go on stage, it's no longer about how impressive, how I can show that I'm great. It's like, how can I serve? That's now where I stand.
Mm, I love that. That's beautiful. That's
Thank
helpful as
you.
well. Yeah, thank you. I was thinking for someone like me who's never recorded a song with
Mm,
me
mm,
singing, that I would
mm,
record it, and then if I ever were to perform it live, it
mm.
probably is not gonna sound like it sounds in the recording.
Totally, you're totally right. It will never sound like the recording because there are factors. When we record, it got mixed, got mastered, and usually I save my best voice for recording, which means the day before the recording. That's why I say to you and Madeleine, if you send me the sound earlier before the Valentine schedule, I can save my voice for 4 days. I don't talk, I don't sing, I don't talk to anybody so that I have my best voice for recording. So when we perform, it can get close to that now and then. But guess what? A lot of singers also don't perform as 100% live as the older generation used to do. Today, a lot of people use a voice corrector.
Hmm,
They call it auto-tune. I was shocked when I heard it because for me, my voice is my instrument. And the cracky parts, like a country singer sometimes,
mhm,
that's my personality, that's my identity. So try to correct it. You sound like everybody. So what's the
mhm.
point? So I can even go through and maybe even my voice may be a bit flat or I might miss a note. I don't mind because it's a human body, it's a muscle. And that's what it does. There are days when if it's not warmed well enough, it can't give you what you're looking for. So I would rather rely on more discipline than getting software to correct my singing. Then you will never grow as a singer.
It's true. That's a major
Mm.
commitment to not speak or sing for 4 days.
Yeah, my mother and I, for November, December, we never talked because when I talk to her, it's not 10 minutes, it's hours of talking. So I said, Mom, December I have 36 performances in 31 days. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I've never done this before, but my client believes in me and we've been paid the deposit. I'm going to do this. So I will talk to you only in January. But you know what? My mom is smart. So I sent her a Christmas message. I could see she saw that, but she didn't reply. But I know she always reply on the spot. So I got worried. I was like, is she okay? Then I phoned, Mom, are you okay? And then she got me on the phone.
She knew what she was doing.
And I was like, Mom, you're very smart, but only 5 minutes, no more. And then we talked. She said, how are you? And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm just getting to the venue, about to check in and do sound check, but I'll talk to you later. Why you didn't reply to my message? So she said, no, I thought I did reply. And I'm like, no, this is a trick.
Her subconscious really wanted you to reach out, I
Yeah,
guess. Yeah, that makes
definitely.
sense. Well, I've really enjoyed this time together. We've got a show right after this. So, Renee, please do come back. We've got lots more to talk about, and look forward to seeing you. Hopefully, I don't know if it's next week or whenever you can make it.
Thank you so much for everything. I will look at my diary and I will send you my email to confirm. I am feeling very privileged. Thank you.
Thank you. And for people who want to reach out to you, who would you like to
Yes.
contact you, and how should they do it?
I would like for them to go to my website. You can also have a way to stream my music because all the icons of the streaming platforms are there and all my social network are there. It's much easier place, ReneTshiakanyi.com. And you can also email me through my mailing list. And let's talk, let's make music, and let's make the world a better place to be.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Before we sign off, I just have a quick announcement, which just happened today. I'm super
Okay.
excited about this. So
Wow.
we have our children's book series, which features our elevated listeners on the cover, and our newest one, which is available June 26th. We actually put it up on Amazon yesterday for pre-order. It's called The Ocean Calls and Lady Ella Listens. And not only
Wow.
is it about listening skills, but it's also to teach children about water pollution and about how we as humanity are really
Mm,
having an impact on the beautiful sea creatures, and
mm,
many of them losing their lives because of polluting that happens, broken nets that are left there, and fish get caught into
mm.
it. So that's what this book is about. And today, after releasing it yesterday, became a #1 Amazon new release in children's environment and ecology books. So
Bravo.
thank you. So it's available now with the rest of our books over on Amazon. Just put in my name, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and I thank everyone who's involved with the project. So thank you,
Super.
Renee, and
Thank
hello
you,
to
Dr.
Dr. Madeleine
Jacalyn.
Chan. Thank
Hello,
you.
Dr. Madeleine. Hope to see you next week.
All right, bye for now, everyone. We'll be back with the wise ones. Bye, Renee.
Thank you. Bye bye. You
Bye.
take care.
You too. Bye.